You want to know what separates the winners from the quitters? It's not talent, it's not money, it's not opportunity. It's mindset, it's the way you think, it's what you feed your spirit when life punches you in the mouth. It's the power of positivity. Listen, life ain't easy. I don't care who you are, where you're from, or what your last name. You will face setback. You will get hit with disappointment. You will get betrayed. You will have days when you don't feel like getting out of bed. But the people who win, the ones who rise, they refuse to let negativity win the battle in their mind. Success begins in the mind. Everything you achieve, everything you chase, and everything you become is rooted in how you think. Before you lift a finger, before you take a single step forward, the battle is already won or lost in your mindset. Most people think it's about resources, connection, or perfect timing. But that's not what separates the ones who make it from the ones who quit. It's how they talk to themselves when no one's watching. It's what they believe when the world says a no. That internal dialogue, that mental grind, that's where the game is played. And if your mindset is weak, you can have all the talent in the world, but you'll still come up short. Because talent fades when pressure hits, but a strong mind adapts and pushes through. Some people sabotage themselves before they even begin. They tell themselves it's not possible, that they're not ready, that they don't have what it takes. They shrink before the challenge even shows up. But the people who succeed, they lock in on a mission with a different level of focus. They believe they belong in the room, even if they're the only one in there without the credentials. They've trained their mind to see opportunity in struggle, to find lessons in failure, to build strength from every setback. That's not luck. That's a decision. That's years of choosing belief over doubt, growth over comfort, and courage over fear. When the mindset is strong, the body follows. The effort multiplies. The excuses disappear. You don't need motivation to keep going. You built discipline. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You create it. And that all starts with a belief system that's unshakable, one that's not based on outside approval, but on inner conviction. You begin to understand that the most valuable asset you have isn't in your bank account or your resume. It's in how you choose to think when the pressure is on, when the lights go out, when the lights go out, when no one is clapping for you. That mindset, that fire, that internal standard you hold yourself to, that's the real end. Every single day, you wake up with a choice. Inside your head, there are two voices fighting for control. One tells you you're not good enough, that the dream is too big, the road is too long, the pain is too heavy. That voice is loud. It feeds on fear, on doubt, on every mistake you've ever made. It reminds you of your failures, your past, and your insecurity. But there's another voice, the quiet one, the strong one. It whispers, keep going. It says, you got this. It reminds you of who you really are, what you've survived and what you're capable of becoming. That voice doesn't shout. It doesn't beg for attention. It waits for you to listen. The most powerful people are not the ones with the loudest surroundings. They're the ones who learn how to silence the noise and amplify the right voice. You see, the problem isn't that doubt exists. It's that too many people give it the microphone. They allow that voice of fear to direct the movie of their life. They take his word as truth. But the moment you take control of the volume knob in your mind, the moment you decide which voice you're going to believe, everything changes. You have the power to rewire your belief system, to take the voice of defeat and shut it down. That positive voice inside you is not soft, it's not weak, it's the voice of your potential. It's the part of you that remembers what you're fighting for. And every time you choose to listen to it, you're building mental armor. Every time you shut down the lie and declare the truth, you're choosing growth. That doesn't mean you won't feel fear, but it means you refuse to be controlled by it. That voice inside that says, keep going, is the same one that will carry you through your darkest days. It's the voice that turns pain into power, obstacles into fuel, and pressure into progress. Negativity is a poison that seeps into your spirit, drains your energy, and clouds your vision. It doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in slowly. A comment here, a doubt there, a moment of comparison that turns into a spiral. Before you know it, you're walking around with a defeated mindset, convincing yourself that what you want is out of reach. But here's the truth. You cannot run a high-performance life while fueling it with low-quality thoughts. You wouldn't put the wrong gas in a race car and expect it to win the race. Yet people expect to succeed while feeding themselves fear, doubt, gossip, complaints, and negativity every single day. You got to take control of what you're putting into your system. That means watching your inner dialogue. Are you speaking life into yourself, or are you tearing yourself down every time you look in the mirror? That means checking your environment. Are you surrounded by people who pour into you, or people who drain you? Energy is contagious, and if you spend all your time with negative people, you will start to inherit their limits. You have to be intentional about what you allow into your ears, into your eyes, into your mind. Negativity is subtle. It dresses itself up as a realism. It says, I'm just being honest, when really it's killing your fire before it ever has a chance to spread. The words you use matter. The thoughts you rehearse matter. The beliefs you hold on to matter. Because all that becomes your pattern, and your pattern becomes your life. If your thoughts are constantly negative, don't be surprised when your results reflect that. But if you start speaking power, even when you don't feel powerful, if you start declaring purpose, even when you feel lost, you begin to shift the atmosphere around you. You create a new energy. You give your future something to stand on. You light the match that starts a fire inside that no circumstance can put out. Positivity is not about ignoring the struggle, pretending everything is fine, or smiling through fake moments. It's about choosing strength when weakness is easy. It's about looking at the chaos and saying, I'm still in control of how I respond. Some people think positivity is soft, that it means you're living in denial. But the truth is, it takes far more courage to stay positive when everything around you is falling apart than it does to give in to bitterness. Positivity is not fluff, strategy. It's a weapon. It's how you keep your head up when life tries to break your neck. It's how you stay focused when everything is screaming for you to quit. There's a reason some people rise while others fold under the same pressure. It's not about what happened to them. It's about how they interpreted it. It's about how they interpreted it. They could see a failure as final, or they could see it as fuel. They could see a setback as a sign, or they could see it as a setup for something greater. That perspective, that mindset, that's the power of positivity in action. It's a deliberate choice to find something in the ashes to rebuild with. It's not about being naive. It's about being resilient. It's the ability to smile through struggle, not because the struggle is easy, but because you refuse to let it define you. When your vision is rooted in positivity, your energy shifts, your confidence grows. You're making moves based on belief, not fear. You stop waiting for things to get better and start becoming better in the middle of the storm. But you stop begging for peace and start creating it within yourself. Positivity sharpens your focus. It builds mental toughness, keeps you grounded in the chaos. You start attacking challenges instead of avoiding them. You start speaking solutions instead of repeating problems. You become someone that adversity can't break because your strength doesn't come from circumstances. It comes from within. That's what makes positivity powerful. It's not reactive, it's proactive. It doesn't wait for the world to be kind before choosing kindness. It doesn't wait for success to feel worthy. It leads the way. Life is unpredictable. You don't get to control every situation, every storm, every obstacle that shows up at your door. But what you do control, what you always control, is how you respond. That response is your power. That response is your direction. You can choose to fall apart, or you can choose to rise. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. The decision is always in your hands. And the most dangerous lie you can believe is that you're powerless. You are not. Your response creates momentum, and momentum creates change. The strongest people aren't the ones who avoid hardship. They're the ones who meet it head on and decide, right then and there, that their attitude will not be controlled by the world around them. They defend and use it. They take the failure and study it. They take the loss and build strength from it. They don't wait for a perfect environment to be their best. They show up with excellence even in chaos. That's what separates leaders from followers, fighters from quitters. It's not what they face, it's how they face it. When everything feels out of control, your response becomes the anchor. And when your response is rooted in clarity, purpose, and a mindset that refuses to fold, you become unshakable. You don't need life to be easy to keep moving forward. You don't need people to agree with you. Stay focused. You don't need perfect conditions to give your best effort. All you need is a decision, a moment where you say, this isn't going to control me. I choose my reaction. I choose how I move. There's power in that choice, how I move. There's power in that choice. There's freedom in that choice. That's how you flip the script. That's how you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the author of your story. Every response is a seed. What you plant grows. You can plant anger, bitterness, and fear, or you can plant patience, grit, and strength. You get to decide what grows in your garden. You get to decide what echoes in your life long after the storm has passed. Your energy is sacred. It fuels your dreams, drives your actions, and determines how far you'll go when the pressure's on. And too many people are careless with it. Oh, they give it away to gossip, distractions, toxic people, and worthless conversations. They wake up on fire, then by noon, that fire is gone. Not because they're weak, but because they left their energy unguarded. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. You can't build greatness when you're constantly drained by negativity. You can't climb to the top if you're constantly carrying the weight of other people's chaos. You've got to get intentional about what you allow into your space. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every opinion needs to be heard. Not every invitation needs to be accepted. Some of the people you're trying to keep close are the very reason your fire keeps burning out. They speak doubt when you need faith. They bring drama when you're trying to build peace. They waste time while you're trying to build legacy. If they're not adding to your vision, they're subtracting from your focus. And every time you let them pull you into their storm, you lose valuable energy that could have been used to build your next move. The way you speak matters too. Your words are seeds, and every time you speak fear, you grow more of it. But when you speak power, purpose, and belief, you create momentum that moves mountains. So guard your language, speak life even when life is testing you. Speak strength even when you feel weak. Train your mouth to follow your vision, not your emotions, not your emotion. Surround yourself with people who feed your spirit, who challenge your grind, who speak growth into your life. Your circle should remind you of where you're going, not where you came from. If you want to live at the next level, you have to protect your environment like your future depends on it. That means cutting off what's pulling you down. That means turning down the noise, getting still, and focusing on your goals without apology. Because your energy is not unlimited, it's precious. And every drop you waste could have been the difference between giving up and leveling up. So now the question is, what are you going to do with everything you just heard? Are you going to keep letting the world shape your mindset, your attitude, your future? Or are you going to stand up and take ownership of your life? The power of positivity is already inside you. It's been there all along. It's not something you wait for. It's something you choose right now, today, in this moment. So rise up, shift your energy, guard your mind, lead with strength, speak with purpose, move like you were born to win. Because you were.